Hello and welcome back to Kiki and Coffee. Here I am, got my coffee, and I got my boy. You can see him right over here, right next to me. Got SpinoDude Reviews. You want to say hi?
Yep. Hello. I come to you today prepared with a mug of single hydrogen, double oxygen with a little sprinkle of herbal supplement that is peppermint tea. Because we don't have coffee.
He's got spiked water. That's what he's got.
Exactly.
I have my cute You Go Girl cup today, and it's filled with the tiniest bit of 2% milk and a little bit of French vanilla creamer, and I mean a little bit, and then we just got some blueberry chocolate K-cup coffee today.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
It's very good. So, we have David here today. We got I guess you can't really see super well at the moment, but David's wearing his little Beast of the Mesozoic hat.
Oh, there we go.
There we go, and I'm wearing my Beast of the Mesozoic shirt, because, as you can see behind us, we're both very big Beast of the Mesozoic fans. And it's also been a very long time since I've had anything like a guest stream or anything like that, but of course this is going to be like more of a, this is just an episode. But I think I mentioned this slightly either in the first video, or the first episode of Kiki and Coffee coming back, or the live stream, but kind of my vision for Kiki and Coffee now is that I kind of want to meet somewhere in the middle of like the old Kiki and Coffee episodes, like casually talking about stuff, videos, and a podcast. And I think this video is really gonna capture that podcast equality, because I just want to be able to talk a lot with you guys, and just have some cool topics to discuss. But being by myself, I'm a chatty dude. I can talk. But having these guys, some of my good friends around, is going to be awesome. And obviously, David, he makes tons of shit on YouTube too. So I almost held my tongue. I'm so used to having to hold my tongue around David when he's on a YouTube video. But anyways,
this is not my channel. Like, have at it.
Yeah. So what the main topic of today is just Beast of the Mesozoic. We're just gonna kind of just talk about that, see where it gets us. Got this dumbass right here that I just got on our last video. I got this cool dude right over here hanging out with us right off screen. David has...
I love the pose on that Allosaurus, the angle that I'm seeing right now.
I thought
it's very cool.
Yes, I deliberately chose that. I kind of swooped his tail off to the side too to kind of exaggerate it a little bit. But let's see, is he gonna actually do a full turn, or is he gonna... Okay, cool. It's gonna do a full turn. Cool.
He's speeding.
Oh, no, he didn't. Where's he gonna stop this time? You know what? That's it. He's gonna show you his ass now. Well, anyways, so one of the main things I wanted to focus on was I know that there was a couple people that expressed interest in the fact that I'm selling some of my stuff, and I want to talk about like these raptors in particular, because I think I'm going to be parting with every single one of them. You guys already know I've talked about this in the first Kiki and Coffee episode. I'm going to be parting with this guy. He's not sold yet, given the fact that I'm holding him right now. But also...
And also, like, really take advantage of this, because most of the raptors that you have back there are completely sold out as far as Creative Beast goes. And most of them are likely never coming back in that form ever again. So, if you really want one, this is a good opportunity if you're watching this.
That's coming from a guy that's literally being paid salary from the company. So, there's your insider scoop. I don't know what little cracker I killed with my frickin' chair, but I didn't even know I was being that messy, but I just discovered his corpse on the floor. And no, I'm not referring to a person. It's a food item. But anyways, so David, I think probably out of everybody, I want to, like, I obviously know very well, but maybe for the record, I don't know how much you actually expressed on your YouTube channel your feelings about the raptors. Because you were very passionate, probably more passionate about than anybody in our friend group. I don't know how much of that you want to share.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like I should have reviewed more of the raptors in retrospect, and I still have one of them. I've got my Lineharaptor. I mean, this is just one of my favorite Beasts of the Mesozoic designs in general, so I wanted to keep one. But I had 4 of the 1/6 scale raptors at one point. I ended up giving them all to my fellow friends. And I feel like after reviewing the Dromaeosaurus, it just wasn't a pleasant experience, like, trying to pose them, keep them posed. They weren't very fun to articulate for me. And I feel like I got the short end of the stick in particular, because I had a lot of problems with, like, heads falling off, really loose joints in the legs in particular, and it's just... I want to love them, I really do, and even this Lineharaptor is in a perpetual sitting pose because his legs are so wobbly, even with the proper stand. He refuses to stand up anymore. But I'm in a weird spot, too, where I almost feel bad, like, really, you know, honing in on all the problems that they have, because I feel like we've moved so far past the raptors at this point, where I'm like, why would I be harping on this when David Silva himself is literally like, yeah, this was a starting point, and he's fully aware of, like, all the problems they had, and he's fixed, like, all the problems that they've had.
Look at the Utah Raptor. That's
the
the
Utah Raptor is great.
we've got.
I have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Deinonychus. You have that one as well.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't... you've reviewed both of those, right?
The Utah Raptor, yes. The Deinonychus I have pre-recorded. I haven't put it up as of this going up yet.
But that one works super well on its own, though. Yeah.
It does. It's a smaller size. It's probably like half the length of this, probably like a third of the mass of this overall thing. Like, it's pretty small, but, you know, it's got most of this articulation integrated into that tiny thing, and it's got a proper stand with it that clips onto the torso and everything, so it's very easy to work with. It's a really nice little dude.
Yeah, I definitely, I agree. Like, I mean, we both are extremely huge fans of Beasts of the Mesozoic, and my love for this this company is not, like, overshadowed or, like, tainted at all by a lot of my frustration with the Raptors. The cool thing about them is that, I mean, long story short, you know, the story as it goes, I'm probably gonna, like, you know, miss a couple details or skew it slightly, but to get the general narrative in here, you know, David Silva has worked for a lot of toy companies over the years, and I know that at some points he had pitched ideas like this, maybe even pitched a real scientifically accurate dinosaur line to NECA, I think, and there was they said something along the lines of, like, animals don't sell, monsters do. And he was like, all right, basically, fuck you, I'm gonna go and make my own series and prove that this can work. And he did a Kickstarter, and it was massively successful. And what did he do? He made awesome, scientifically accurate dinosaur figures that proved the concept. They're really great, on their own, but they have some flaws where, like, there's quality things he had to figure out, engineering, the really thin legs and stuff, the standing arm stuff. You know, one thing I really admire about David Silva and his goals is that he has always been trying to innovate. He never gets complacent. And that, you know, I just, like, kind of bitched about the Tyrannosaurs in my last video, well, lightly. But, like, I think it was really cool that he had the concept to try and make, like, invisible stands. And, like, he wanted to see if he could make the Tyrannosaurs be able to stand securely, but not have the really obvious posing arm. There was some obvious, like, downsides to that, but he tried it, and he got it to work pretty well for the most part. It really showed its flaws once you got up to, like, the T-Rex scale and stuff, but, you know, now we're here.
It was still functional, surprisingly. Yeah, and now we're there, yeah.
And this one, I've already said before, but I genuinely mean it. I think that this, I don't think I overused the term perfect before. Maybe once or twice when I was referring to Safari, like, there was a couple times where I thought that for that quality I used the term. But I use the word perfect very sparingly, and I mean it when I say that this is a perfected dinosaur figure. This Allosaurus right here, the size of it, the articulation, the accuracy, the detailing, the freaking security of this stand and everything is amazing. And I genuinely think that echoes down to the Dilophosaurus and Utahraptor to a nearly equivalent scale. I find this one to be the most impressive point, and I want to hone it in with this one because look at how freaking huge this damn thing is. But this right here is proof that the flaws with the raptors should not hold against this company, because they have just excelled and improved the entire way up.
Exactly. I mean, one thing that's apparent to me, I mean, I honestly, this is the first time I've picked this figure up and actually looked at it in probably like a year. Like, it's just been sitting around.
Yeah.
But my goodness, the paint quality has seen such a jump. Like, I'd say it's almost 100% more improved.
I agree.
Like, the paint quality on this is borderline amateur, just to be kind of blunt. Like, for a starting point.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you're mass producing a figure, like, it's very light, like, dry brushing and everything. And this is the second release of the Velociraptor 2, so this already had some improvements from the very first version that we saw. But it's very impressive, and I like having this as sort of a historical piece, because, like I said, I just like the design, and it's like, this is the start of Creative Beast for me, and like where I kind of fell in love with them.
And to further
seeing the potential.
Oh, 100%. And to further draw the connection back to this Allosaurus. So I know that some people have their opinions. This is not their favorite style, and some people don't really like. I even saw some comments, people saying that they just think it's like a boring like color palette and whatever, and that they think that the paint's bad. Yep. I'm gonna actually argue with that. I think this is a hot take, but I actually don't think it's as hot as you think, because if you have not seen it in person, you wouldn't understand. This is maybe the best painted BOTM figure ever. Like, period. Like, objectively, it is without a doubt better than that Allosaurus. Now, I love that Allosaurus, but people don't know this, but I'm gonna hope I can get this on camera. Just this face alone, I don't know if I can get it to focus. Let me see if I can.
Oh, it focused for a second there.
Let's see. There we go.
There we go.
So, you, in person, this is even more exponentially obvious, but those little scales on there are fucking microscopic, and they all have not only a wash, but a dry brush over them. Every single scale on this thing's face is obvious. I was blown away. I noticed this the other day where I was actually soaking it in, and I was like, what the hell? How is that so good? I looked at that one, literally not even the same. Like, it's like, no, it's not. It's good, and there's parts specifically on the base of the neck of that green Allosaurus, it does have the same quality, but on the face it doesn't. It's a little bit more washed out. It still looks great. I'm not saying that, like, oh, there's falling or anything like that, but this thing is so good. Like, you could say whatever you want about the style of it. That's fine. That's objective. That's subjective. That's your opinion about the style of it. I get that. Yeah. The quality of this, the fine details, literally everything on the tail here. There's the deep the leg. Every bit of this thing has this crisp paint to it, which has blown my mind. And the face is the best part. Like, it's immaculate. I genuinely don't think. I have never seen a BOTM figure that is better than this one. There might be ones that are tied, but like this one is. And it's the best.
They're only
at least
getting
tied.
better. They're only getting better with every single wave too. Like, you know, that Allosaurus was the last wave, which was last year, and that was really good.
The one before this one,
yeah, second last. And then this previous one that we just got, we're already seeing incredible improvements, and it's getting me really excited for the next Beasts wave that we're going to see this coming summer with the steg and everything. Like,
I know
what's the quality, and I mean, even the articulation. You were just telling me the other day, like, all these figures out of the box, you haven't even had to heat up the joints. Like, they're just moving.
This one I did for the tail, but that was not. Honestly, I could tell.
Unique.
I could tell I could get it on. It was gonna be quite like I had to put a lot of force in there, but it was just hurting me while I was doing it. I cut out a lot of that in the video. I don't know how much of that is actually in the video, but yeah, this thing was assaulting me while I was trying to like put it in there because it's so spiky. But
yeah, you should have. I don't know if I properly like verbalized this to you when we were just talking in our spare time, but when I got my Arctic Dragon early, I was so used to the last few figures I got just being able to push the tail on without even having to heat it up. So I'm like, I could do this. It's not a big deal. And I start pushing it on, and I literally, like, I think I actually broke the skin on my hand here, on one of the spikes, like, very slightly. And I was like, alright, we're heating this up. And I go heat it up, and for the next 2 days afterwards, my hand was literally sore, and I still had, like, indents in my
You were
palm.
that confident.
I was that confident I damaged myself, so a message to everybody who's getting the Arctic Dragon, don't try, just heat it up. It's going to save you a lot of pain
This little,
in the
actually,
long run.
this little dork can fit up here. We'll just put him in there for now.
There you go.
Let's just get him.
Looks so cool.
I love this thing.
It's great.
Yeah, the shit. I wonder if like one of the reasons that I was a little bit more careful with this one was because I've just put together so many more Godzilla figures that have spikes and crap on them over the years, and
That's
I'm just
true.
like, I was a little bit more ready for the fact that this thing might hurt me when I saw it, but I still was fairly confident. I was like, I think I can get it on there, especially because I just put the Allosaurus tail on it, and so I think like I was like, yeah, this thing was moving super well. Just don't hurt yourself. Just heat it up.
Don't.
This
Yeah.
one, sure. If you got a good grip, I think you got this. But
Yeah. Mine went on pretty easy for my Fragilis. I'm not sure how that one was for you.
yeah, it was the same as this Allosaurus. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember it being difficult. I don't remember like anything recent being difficult for me to put on.
Yeah.
Over like the
But
last
yeah, just
few years or
to
so.
circle back what you were saying about the paint on that one. I thought that Allosaurus looked fine, but it didn't have the vibrancy I was looking for with BOTM. That really fit in with the rest of the line for me, but it really took me seeing it in person at Legion Con, because he had basically that same figure, like the production sample at that point, on the table, and he let me play around with it, and I was like, wow. The first thing that hit me was the paint job. I'm like, subjectively, this isn't my favorite thing, but execution-wise, this is drop dead gorgeous in like every single corner of this figure.
And, it's so
and I was
funny,
like, this is what all of them are going to look like? And he's like, yeah, this is just one of the produced ones. And I'm like, what?
it's nuts. It like if you guys have doubts about it, or if you're even slightly on the fence, you kind of like it. I mean, don't doubt the quality of the paint. If you don't like the style, that's one thing. You have another great, like, that's one of the great things about having multiples. You can pick between the styles you want. But don't doubt this thing's quality. The integrity of this thing's paint is better than that one. And I really like that one. But I also, I totally feel you. I mean, obviously, I said in like my other video, this style, like, I really grown to like dark and like borderline black Allosauruses, and then this it also kind of, because I've grown so in love with BOTM over the years and accustomed to the really bright colors, this one kind of contrasts and is kind of a breath of fresh air in some ways because it's not as bright. Not that I don't want bright figures anymore. Please keep making the bright, colorful figures. But yeah, this is goddamn. This thing is so cool too.
It's so great.
I love the tail on this thing. It's so satisfying. How
easily the best tail that they've made. I honestly want to see them experiment more with smaller multiple joints. Maybe even
like at this size,
the bendy wire in some areas. Yeah, even at that size. Because it's so satisfying to move. And I know you mentioned this the other day, but I'm like, when he gets around to doing sauropods, I'm convinced just by that tail, like you said, that he can pull off the neck in multiple joints like that.
Sure, it does have a lot of like pretty harsh textures on there that make it a little easier for you to have these big seam lines, but I genuinely don't think I'll be bothered at all by like the seam lines on the neck if it gets fun articulation like this. And I know one problem with, I guess, this size of tail is that it'd be much thinner, so the joints might not hold up over time as well as this, like, 'cause it's much bigger. But come on, sauropods with a neck like this, I'd be so hyped.
Yeah.
This is fully, I mean, I already wanted one, but this has fully convinced me I want at least 1/18th scale. 1/18th scale sauropod. I
and
really
a large
want
one too.
Yeah, and
it's
a big
like
one.
centerpiece.
Just have one up there somewhere. I guess we got. You guys can't really see it, but Godzilla's up there in the far corner. I'm not going to miss the camera.
You know what I want even more than a sauropod right now, though, is I think it would be more fun just for more realistic posing options, just for how flexible their necks were. I would love just a large plesiosaur from him. at some
Yeah,
point.
I mean marine stuff in general. I really
Marine stuff in
want
general.
marine stuff. Yeah. But a plesiosaur, yeah, I like a big Elasmosaurus. What's that cool one with the super long neck that you just showed me?
Alberto nectes. I
Yeah,
think it
that
has
one.
the most neck vertebrae of any known vertebrate so
Did
far.
Did they intentionally make sure they got neck in that name?
Probably. I mean, I think it means like neck from Alberta or something like that. I don't know. But
Anywho, so I guess let me like kind of coax us more onto the Raptors for a second because I kind of want to highlight all these guys. So for anybody interested, I want to make it very clear that I'm actually going to be selling a lot of these guys. So we'll kind of, by the end of this video, I'm going to have decided which ones I'm going to sell. I just literally was reminded before we got into this call that, like, I guess one way I could maybe be happy with one of them and hold it is to maybe just, like, sit it down like you have the Linoraptor. That's kind of a cute way of doing it. Yeah. But
it's a charming little pose, and he's very well balanced. Oh, there he's out of camera.
But I still really want to see if I can get rid of all of them. So to highlight, we're going to go through, I'm going to talk about each of these. I'll bring them down and we'll talk about them and just give a little moment for each of them. And then
sure.
I'll just recap that. This episode should be coming out on April 7th, which is the upcoming Monday. Yeah, April 7th. And on that day, I plan to have the eBay listings up for every figure I'm going to be selling. So if any of you guys want them, it'll be linked in the description. The eBay listings will be up. You can get a famous Kikizilla 101 trash that you can treasure.
Much wow.
Yeah, one man's trash is another man's treasure. But I want to stress that even though I'm going to be getting rid of all these, I still have such a soft spot for all of them. It's some more than others, but I just, like, as you guys can see, I have a lot of crap. And I've started to move into this phase where I think I have the amount of dedicated space that I want for this part of the collection. I just want to cycle stuff in and out. I mean, there's a couple shelves here I'm planning on filling out a little bit more, but for BOTM stuff, I think I've just kind of been wanting to part with these Raptors for a while, and we have a lot of Cyberzoic stuff that are going to be coming to us throughout the year, and I just this is where I want them to go, like right here.
Yeah.
And there's some big ones. I mean, I got this Allosaurus who is not even on the shelf yet because of that.
And you're going to need a whole spot for that Stegosaurus, so...
Yes, dude, the Stego, oh my god, yeah, and the Stego I want to be putting with the Allosaurus, so I might move that Allo down from there and put it with this one and the Stego, like, on maybe, like, this part right over here or something. But,
that would be cool.
So first off, this guy's being sold, so keep that in mind. You want this one, and all of them are going to, well, some of these Raptors don't come with collector's cards, but I'm going to be selling them with their collector's cards and boxes. They're all...
Cool.
In varying conditions. None of them really have much scuffs. This guy has the worst scuff. Literally, right after I recorded that video, I accidentally scraped up his nose, as you can see right there. But
For shame.
Yeah. But other than that, he's in a good condition. I'll sell them all like for much cheaper so that you guys can kind of get a good deal for them, especially because I know a lot of these guys are going to be harder to get, and I really kind of want to more get rid of them than make money off of them at this point. So. Let's just start. Let me grab one of these guys. So that's gonna be the hardest to part with, but I have this cool little, let's move this Titan over here, move this guy off to the side. We'll have him peeking in there. And
there you go.
You can hide right back here so that people can still see you. But I'm gonna be selling all of these little gray nestlings. I think I'll sell them with the Saurornitholestes, because I just think they go really well together. So both of my Saurornitholestes, I think, are like maybe my favorite. Like, I think that's my favorite species that we got from all the Raptors, because both of them are so good. The Secretary and the Roadrunner one, I adore them. The Secretary bird, it's just gorgeous. I adore this one. It looks just so serene, and I love just the contrast, the black and the white, and the way that the color, colored eyes come out. It's really gorgeous.
It's really nice.
And I think these little nestlings look really natural with her. Like, they just have the yellow, orangish faces, and they're just covered in gray little fuzz. I really like.
Very cute.
Yet again,
I think that's a great set.
Yeah, I that's why I kind of want to sell them together, because I think somebody's gonna really enjoy them all together, and it also just kind of helps me get rid of all of them and not have to have just one part still sitting around.
Yeah,
but I really love this one. This one stands actually pretty decently out of all of them. It kind of clips on fairly well, so this one shouldn't be too much of a hassle compared to some of the other ones. The Zhenyuanlong, I'll just get that out of the way right now. That one's going to be the biggest pain in the ass if you want to be like getting that one to stand. But yeah, here's these little dudes. I'll move them off to the side. Nice little guys. I'm definitely going to be parting with this one. I really love this one, but it's just, I don't know. I gotta get rid of some, and it's not my absolute favorite out of them. But
you got to think to the future and stuff that you'd want more,
Yes. And now this one is very difficult for me to part with, because this one is straight up might be my favorite raptor that I have. This Roadrunner, and I think it might be the best one. Well, I think, is this the second release one? I think it is. Maybe it's the first. I don't remember.
I know that one's sold out pretty quick compared to the rest of the line, I think.
I
don't remember.
It would have a collector's card if it was a second release, right?
Yes. Yeah. The collector's card started in the second release.
I have the second release one.
Cool.
Yeah. The only one I know of, because I have it, that wasn't a second release that did get a collector's card is the black Velociraptor, but that was a delayed repaint that came out.
1 second.
Yeah, so I really love this one. Second release, I think I was saying the black Velociraptor, that one was like a delayed repaint, and that one came out with a collector's card. That was my first ever BOTM figure. Gonna be a little difficult for me to part with, but yeah, this one I can't recommend enough. I freaking love it. The paint on it is amazing. The sculpt is awesome. I love the little Roadrunner head. Roadrunners are also one of my favorite. I almost said dinosaurs, but that's not wrong. They're
wrong.
It's one of my favorite birds. I really, 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 really hope this one's popular. So I really hope he makes a 1/18 scale one, because I would love to keep like this design in my collection.
Yeah,
because right now I'll tell you right now, I think the only raptor I'm gonna be holding on to is this little dinky dude.
he's a nice little guy. He actually clips into the base properly too.
He does, and this was always a design that I was on the edge of getting. I was always edging with this one, and I never ended up getting it. But I really, I'm glad I have like a 1/18 scale little raptor.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I put that in the right spot. But whatever, he looks fine. Now, David might be helping to hook me up with the, what do you call it, the Cyberzoic Deinonychus, because
yes,
you ended up ordering that one, but now you're like,
Yep.
I like the BOTM one better, and I've been warming up to the BOTM or the Cyberzoic one, and I like the BOTM one better at first.
I overcommitted because I knew there were multiple versions of the Deinonychus coming out, so I bought that first one on the Kickstarter. I was like, oh cool, it's got blue on it. It's not my favorite thing, but I'll grab it. And then I saw the BOTM version come out, and I'm like, I think this one just fits more of my style for the Raptor lineup. I like it more. But I ended up obtaining that one, and then asking David Solo if I could swap it out for the other one. He's just like, no, just keep that order. So I was like, cool. So I'm gonna have 2 Deinonychus, and I'm like, I'll just give that one to Aiden because I got the first one. So
it works out too, because I don't know. Whenever I go and visit you, I can look at that one in person and see how I feel about it. But I just really warmed up on the Cyberzoic one, and like I started to be tempted to maybe, but I didn't know if I really wanted to buy it because I don't know. I just it was a size I wasn't super committed to yet, but then you offered I can hit. I was like, oh, that'd be much cheaper to get it that way. So I'll just try it out. So I'm gonna get that one. So I'll have the 1/18 scale tiny dude, and then I'll get the Deinonychus, and then when I get the Utah Raptor, I'll have that one. So we'll get that.
It'll be such a great escalation in size.
Yeah.
And I'm excited too. I wasn't expecting them to tackle Ostroraptor so early, but I'm looking forward to throwing that one in. Yeah. Fuck. So we're gonna have like between Deinonychus and Utah as well.
That one's yeah, no, it's not up for pre-order. That one's gonna be like probably the next BOTM batch that's announced for pre-order. Yeah.
Probably. We might even get the Cyberzoic version first. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
We saw the colors for one, right? Which one was that one?
So he confirmed on a live stream that both of them are going to be belted kingfisher, I think, but one of them's going to be like the gray variant, the other one's going to be the bright blue one for BOTM.
Okay.
So the gray one with the orange underside is going to be Cyberzoic, and the blue one with the orange underside is going to be BOTM. That's what I remember, at least.
Well, this one... she's always been one of my better ones, like standing wise, but she's giving me a little bit of trouble right now. There we go.
There we go. Sargon.
Literally might be my favorite raptor that I have. I love this one so much. The wings, I mean, it's on the Lioniraptor, the same wings.
I love these wings.
They're so good.
Very cool.
Like those wings are so freaking good, and I love the style of this one. This was also earlier on when I was getting BOTM figures, and I was still like a little bit attached to, you know, meeting in the middle with the really vibrant stuff, because I was still really used to the other stuff. I hadn't gone into straight up like violent blue Torosaurus territory yet, which is still one of my favorite BOTM figures. Honestly, might be my third. Well, third or fourth, something like that. But wait, what the fuck is this?
I don't think I showed this to you. They sent me a couple of the Build-A-Raptor kits. I just haven't gotten to paint them yet, so this is one that I built. So I put the wings and the little crest on it.
That's so cool. That's the Saurornitholestes crest, right? Yeah, that's this one.
Yep.
And then it's got the wings.
It's the head too. I think it's the only head that has like that
little the little
top
head
that you can put the crest on.
God, this thing is so beautiful. I love this.
So yeah, fun fact about that. I loved all ceratopsians like Aiden, but Pachyrhinosaurus was always my go-to because I'm like, I guess that one's my favorite because it's unique. It doesn't really have a horn. But this figure right here and my relationship with going from not caring much about it to just being like, this is the coolest thing ever, just fully convinced me that Torosaurus is just straight up my favorite. Because I actually paid attention to Torosaurus for once, and I'm like, this thing looks so cool, and its head is so darn big. I think, yeah, it's my favorite. I don't know why I always assumed Torosaurus was just like one of the boring ones. Maybe it was because when I was playing J-Pog as a kid, like it was really boring in that game.
Well, also, its design kind of sucked ass in Walking with Dinosaurs, so, I mean, like,
it was probably my exposure to bad representation of it, where I was just like, it's a boring one.
Yeah, but then you get
the actual Toro's so cool.
Yeah, it's so goddamn awesome. Like, this is my second favorite ceratopsian. I mean, it has so many of the same things going for it the Triceratops has for it. The only thing I like about Triceratops better is just the shape of the head, you know, having a lot more like of that cool curvature to it, and also I got really attached to just the identity breaking like revelation that Triceratops might just be such a different animal in behavior than we had been thinking for so long, and Triceratops actually has a head built for like genuinely taking a lot of damage, unlike Torosaurus, which is a lot more of the sexy, good-looking dude. He's like, hey, check out what I got. He's the dapper boy. He's dapper. The Triceratops will get shit done. This guy will kill you with kindness and take your girl, and Triceratops will just fucking kill you.
Exactly. I also have a pretty fond childhood memory of before they remade the Smithsonian. I don't even know if they still have it there, but they had a cast of a Torosaurus skull, like hanging on a wall behind their Triceratops mountain, and you could stand up next to it on a platform, and there was like a measurement thing, and you could see like where you would stack up next to it.
I love those things.
Me too. But when I was a kid, I think I was like 7 years old when I went, so I was still pretty short. It's probably like half my height I am now. And be standing next to a Torosaurus skull that's like over double the height of you or close to that and looking up at it, like I remember this feeling of like just genuine like fear, like imagining this thing alive. Like,
yeah.
This is just
Put
his
all the
head.
meat and skin on it, and then get the rest of the bite, and it's like, oh god, that's a freaking monster.
And it's crazy because you know what's something I realized too is I have a small twin mattress that I sleep on for my bed right now.
Me too.
I think I'd be more comfortable sleeping on a Torosaurus head if there was a mattress on it. That's how big it was.
It's so big. I know. It's so big. I mean, Triceratops, the biggest Triceratops, their head from the tip of the nose to the end of the frill is 11 feet long. Torosaurus is much bigger than that. I don't know the exact stats off of my head, but off the top of my head, but like its frill is significantly longer. I would not be surprised if it's like the biggest ones were like 14, 15 feet long from the tip of the nose to the end of the frill. Like, huge.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, this is starting to look a little boring over here. But
gotta buy more dinosaurs to put there now.
This is another one. I'm so attached to the design of this one. If they do a 1/18th scale of it, I'm gonna get it 100%. I doubt this one's gonna get a 1/18th scale. I don't think it was that popular. And
I don't think it was either.
And I don't think the 1/18th scale Raptors are huge sellers anyways, because they're so small and like they're so like well painted and articulated and stuff, and the batch sizes that he's getting is just like making it so that, you know, mass production is not really like they're like $25 or something like that for the small thing.
They're not very profitable for what they are, and the entry price for, you know, when you're paying for the quality that you're getting is not very digestible for most people.
I mean, like how expensive is Deinonychus? It's like very comparable, and it's much bigger.
Deinonychus is, I think, was $35.
Yeah,
Legion Con when I was there, so
it's
yeah,
like $10 more. and then you have the Zuniceratops. I don't know how much I paid for this one. It was like, it might have been like $40. Maybe 45 at most.
40.
Yeah,
40, I think. Yeah,
basically the same thing. And it's more than half this price, and you get that tiny little dude. So like, just full disclosure, not like. You're gonna be disappointed if you think you're getting a really economic option with this. The bigger the figures they are, like, the more economic it is, genuinely. Like, I mean, think about it. This thing is fucking huge, and like, Jesus Christ, this thing, like, retail price was the same goddamn amount, and it's like, look at this, look at this thing. Like, you're getting good shit. For your money. I mean, like, that guy lights up and stuff, but
Aiden, SH is getting better. They're releasing a 7-inch tall Legion for like $560 or something.
I mean, if he hurls insults at your stepfather or something like that, then I guess it might have an additional quality or something. But
it has a purpose.
Will he be my new dad? I better get a new dad.
Will it do my
for
dishes
that
at that point?
Yeah,
is it laundry?
Is it gonna do my home chores? Like, shit. Goddamn. Yeah. What are the accessories that come with this thing? Does it have a role in the family? Is it the family pet? I mean,
that's funny. No, but you know, one thing, circling back to the 1/18th little guys quickly. One thing I remember mentioning to. I think I mentioned it in my review for the mini Velociraptors that he sent me early, the blue one and the black one.
Oh yeah. Wait, you got the black one?
I should. Yeah, I have both of those. He sent those both to me at the same time.
You still want that black one?
I do, because I have one of them on my Protoceratops, and I have the other one next to my Utahraptor. So I've got them spread out a bit.
That's cool.
So. One thing I remember mentioning in that video, I'm pretty sure, but I should mention it to David Silva directly as a suggestion, is I think they could get away with less articulation on them for what they are. And I wonder if that would bring the price down. Because I think the wings could be like just static pose with shoulder joints.
I agree. I was a little surprised that those had articulation. Yeah, they don't. It doesn't really feel like it adds a ton.
Yeah.
Is it 3 points or is it 2 points?
It's the same as the big ones. It's the pretty much like and the wings have the most problems too as far as quality goes, because the pins are so small, like they loosen up super easily, or even they don't get attached properly and they never tighten up. But
have you brought that feedback to him at all? I'm sorry, I missed if you said that.
I haven't. I want to mention it to him or just to the team in general and just see like what they think about that being a possibility.
Because I'm sure he wants to make more in the future anyways, but...
Yeah. I know one thing I did mention to them on stream once, and also afterwards, again, pretty recently, was I want to see just more small dinos like Microraptor and Dialong, even if it was like tiny things that aren't articulated, but just in scale with the colors.
Yeah, like little accessory dudes, yeah.
Yeah.
What, you could even do like little sets like the baby Ceratopsis set. You could have like 3 different poses, and they're just like static or something like that. That might be cool.
Yeah. But David said in the stream when he answered my question a while ago that if he did do those now, he would do them as pack-ins with other figures. So, for example, if he did a Microraptor, he would sell it with the Utyrannus, because that would be more profitable for him.
That's a great idea.
Which I told him, I was like, that would be really cool. But I think he said he was going to be waiting like another year or 2 to start exploring those avenues, because that would be like a whole other... When you're making a figure, even if it's that small,
you're cutting out a little bit for me. Just
oh, sorry. Hold on. Wait, my noise suppression is on Discord again.
Okay, that's probably why.
It hates me. There we go. No, but one thing too is when you're making a figure, even a static figure that's that tiny, you still have to pay the same amount to tool it and to have it sculpted and everything. So you need to make sure the investment is properly like worth your time.
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense that he's waiting for the right time to explore stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm really interested in. I really want to round out my collection, have these like smaller dudes in scale with all of them, but I completely get why it's something that's not a high priority at the moment. And they're also just like, quite frankly, not as popular as they could be. I think a lot more people should try them out, but I also understand why people don't, because like I said, they're kind of expensive. But shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, last thing I wanted to say about this thing.
Yes.
I have a decision where I want to hold on to this one in some capacity because I love it still. I love this shirt. I think I'm gonna buy a second one off of their store because it's like just starting to kind of fade a little bit. I've had it for many years, and I really love this shirt. I want to keep it like in my circulation. But they have one that's like I think black with a red logo, and it's of the Sargon.
Oh, is it the Sargon? Actually?
Yeah, it's got the wings, and it doesn't have the Linoraptor's head. I'm pretty damn sure it's the Sargon.
Okay.
You're making me lose confidence, but I was really confident it was the Sargon. But
I'll look this up right now.
If David sees it and confirms it is the Sargon, then I think I'm just getting that one. I'll kind of hold on to it because I really love this one.
That'll be a good way of keeping the memory, you know?
Yeah, because I'm not 100% convinced we're going to get a 1/18th scale one. But if any of you guys are interested in this one, I cannot recommend it enough. I personally endorse it as my favorite Raptor. Like I said, this one might be like kind of in the running for it, but I'm going to say officially that this one is. I love it. The colors, the sculpt and everything, the really fluffy neck, wings. There's a really nice silvery touch to him.
The Raptor shirt is completely sold out, so only the trike one is left.
No! I just checked a little bit ago!
Yeah, it's not there.
Damn!
I just looked.
Well, shit. Okay, whatever. Well, I'll remember it. I highly recommend it. Highly endorse this dingus. Now, here, let me move this little plant out of the way. You remember what Lily's thing is on Instagram? What the name of the new?
Oh yeah, well, she goes by @a trash bug, but there's also Lost Monster Garden.
Yeah.
Company. Yep.
There's on Instagram. Check out Lost Monster Garden. If I remember, I'll link it in the description. She makes these awesome little things. I don't know if she takes commissions at the moment, but you should definitely check it out. She sent these to me. She sent them to all of David's good friends.
Yeah.
We've hung out with her a couple times on Discord and watched Transformers movies. But really cool shit.
A great bonding experience watching Michael Bay garbage.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like, I actually almost wanted to start out this episode with like a Sam Witwicky like joke and gag because he's selling all of his fucking shit on eBay like as show and tell or whatever at school, and I feel like I'm doing Kiki copy. I'm like, hey, buy my shit. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, it's just I'm saying Witwicky right now. That's funny. But yeah, I believe she was just commissioned by Creative Beast to make a bunch of stuff like this to do a display at Toylanta. Was it?
Yeah, Chris reached out to her, and he actually kind of did it as a surprise to her. But he commissioned her. He says, "I want more plants," and she was like, "Yeah, I'll make you more plants." So he paid her commission for it. She sent him a bunch of stuff, and then they did the big display, and he just sent her pictures of it, and he's like, got all your stuff on display, and it was really cool.
That's a really nice surprise.
Yeah. But she, those are some of the smaller ones.
That one, I think it broke off in shipping, unfortunately, when she sent it to me.
Oh, no.
But it's never an issue because the palm tree part has like a perfect little divot in there that just holds the top of it, so...
Gotcha. Yeah, but she's given me quite a few more like little ones that I've been darting around my collection, and it's something that I've realized, not to go off topic a bit, but it's something I never realized that I kind of really wanted in my collection. Like, it adds this nice little when you have enough of them, it adds this little spark of naturalism, like in little pieces throughout 100%. The shelf. It's really nice.
I love it too. I should honestly commission her for some more because I haven't thought about it in a while, but I'm getting the collection to a nice, really displayable point. And I mean, I've talked about it before on my channel, but like I really hated how like if you go back into like 2019, 2018, I had some cool stuff in my collection, but it was starting to get where I was just like kind of jamming shit in there and like. I mean, look at this shelf. This is a really nice shelf. It's got some nice space. You just got 3 Evangelions here. You got Godzilla and the Muto right here. You got Burning Godzilla and Space Godzilla. That's it. And there's like a nice amount of space here. They're breathing. I mean, that Godzilla shelf, like, you got 6 Godzillas over there and just like really healthy amount of space between each of them. That is not a congested shelf at all. I just love the spacing, but like in those little gaps, like I have up there with these guys, are just having these nice little plants, like. It kind of fills it out a little bit, adds a little bit of color, but it's natural and it's still breathy, and I really like it.
It doesn't feel crowded, but it feels like it's nice and filled out, which is nice. And also, speaking of kaiju, I'm glad you mentioned that because she was showing me a bunch of stuff she's working on for her first big batch drop she's going to sell on Etsy for Lost Monster Garden soon, and she is doing some. Trees that are in scale with kaiju figures. Oh,
I thought you were gonna say buildings, but that's cool. I mean, it makes sense because it's gardens, so it's like all plant based. That's fucking awesome. So, I might have to hit her up on that and try to put some, especially next to this Heisei Godzilla, because this one, well, I guess Biollante too, but in both King Ghidorah and Biollante, he fights them in like a forested area with a bunch of trees and stuff. So this design looks really cool next to like some small little trees and stuff. I'd love that. Cool.
I was thinking for when I get my Kong, I definitely want a few pieces from her so I can put like the Skullcrawler and Kong like trees and stuff. Yeah,
that'd be cool. I mean, God, like that fight scene between the Skullcrawler and Kong at the end of Skull Island is so cool.
It's so cool.
But let me just wrap this up really quick so we can kind of move on from these guys. No, I like the detours. It's healthy discussion. But so the Zhenyuanlong, oh my God, design wise. I fucking adore this one. It's so gorgeous. I love it. It's a magpie. I forget which kind of magpie it is. I don't remember. Damn, I do not remember. That's his name. Damn, I do not remember.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bird named that. No, an ornithologist.
Yeah. But this one is the black-billed magpie. I know that because that's one of my favorite birds, and that's why I got this Microraptor. But this one, full disclosure, doesn't stand super well. That's been the problem with what's the stupid name? The Dromaeosaurus. Oh, what were you gonna say?
The Zhenyuanlong is the bird it's based off of. Is get ready for this. It's a difficult one. the red-billed blue magpie.
Oh, okay. I almost said red-billed magpie, but I did not get the blue. Or
it's literally what it is when you look at it.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Red-billed, black-headed blue magpie. You can add the black-headed in there, and then you got everything. But
be super thorough.
It is a gorgeous figure. I love it. Super fluffy boy, big, freaking beautiful wings. I love the coloration of it. It's also just got a really cool name, Zhenyuanlong. I mean, come on, that's an awesome name. I know that there's one person in particular, I forget your name, but you were really interested in Zhenyuanlong. I cannot recommend it enough design-wise. I will warn you that, like the Dromaeosaurus and this one, I don't know if was there another fluffy one that had the same problem?
I think it was basically just the two Dromies and the Zhenyuanlong.
Yeah, they basically, well, wasn't there two Zhenyuanlongs?
Oh yeah, there was the Fan's Choice one. Yeah, that was the hornbill. I forgot about that one.
Was it like black, yellow, white, and red or something like that? Yeah.
It had blue eyes.
Oh yeah, okay. But basically they have this like little fluffy attachment in the crotch. I'm not gonna bother showing you because I don't think you'll be able to recover if I move him. But it's like it's difficult. There's like a cradle that was supposed to, but that doesn't really work. The cradle just does not work super well. But the clip. The way I've gotten it to work over the last years is like that fluffy patch that's on the crotch area, the pubic bone part of the animal is like kind of squishy. It's not like a hard plastic. So I used the clip and basically just jammed it onto it and like pinched it down on that squishy bit, and it worked. It worked really good for like 2 years. I actually never really had any issues with it, but I think it's just been long enough now that the clip is worn down and it's starting to wane. But what I can tell you is that you can see right here, I've used almost all my arms. I could buy some more, but there's some really cool like arms you can get on Amazon that are like little collector arms. There's like some other different ones that I think David got, because I think you bought some of these when I recommended, or at least Eric did or something like that. You got these ones, then you got different ones.
I think Gibson started by buying like some of those like arms you had to assemble with the screws and stuff.
I started that one. And that was this.
You started that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I knew I got somebody started on it right after me. I think maybe it was Gibson. I thought it was some.
Yeah, maybe because he was really talking them up. So I think that's what I remember.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend getting some of those. You can get it to work for this guy. Just don't trust the base stand super much. But yeah, that one's been a really difficult one. That, like, this one, I mean, honestly, all of them, like, I already got rid of the ones that were easier for me to get rid of, like the Pachyrhinosaurus and the red Velociraptor. I got rid of those guys because I wasn't as attached to them. I love all these designs. The way I'm basically getting myself to let go of them all, because if I start to just let go of some of them, it's like, but I love this one. But I love that. It's easier just to blanket. I'm done. I'm getting rid of all of them. So, but yeah, this one especially, I'm not going to charge you a lot for it. Whoever ends up getting this one, I'm not going to put this one up for very much because I would just feel a little guilty given that it's not going to be standing super well. So I'll give you a steal on it, but I still highly recommend it. I think it's a beautiful figure, and you're not going to be able to order it again. And who knows if it'll even get released as a 1/18th scale figure. Because it wasn't, the most popular.
It's not a popular genus, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't see it again.
Yeah. And continuing with the Yixian formation stuff, that's just like the base for the Dylong. I'll just put it over here. But I got the Dylong right here, really gorgeous. Pairs super well with the Zhenyuanlong, just kind of like opposite colors. It looks like I need to repose him just slightly so he actually balances. I think he kind of settled into that corner a little bit. But
this is one that I'm actually dying for a 1/18th scale version of, just because I think the colors are just so electric. It's going to be, it's going to have a presence even being tiny on your shelf.
I agree. There you go. Look at that. It doesn't take much finesse, and he stands without a base. I mean, it's really good. And this is the Raptor size, by the way. It shows you how much engineering over the years. This is like... How many years later? It was 2017, and that was 2022, 2023 when that one came out. The Dylong.
5 years.
Yeah, it's 5 to 6 years, somewhere in that gap, I think. But fantastic engineering. I love this figure. Just the scale, like I was really attached to holding on to all the Ixion formation stuff, but if I get rid of just like one of them, like the Raptor, then like I feel like I'm just gonna like lose. I would love to get like a Yixian pack though one day. If David Silva's watching this, I doubt he is, but if he does like a pack with like the Microraptor, a Psittacosaurus, and a Zhenyuanlong and a Zhenyuanlong at 1/18 scale, I would get that as an accessory pack for my Utyrannus so much.
I would love if he just had like a core figure, like if it was Deinonychus sized, he did like Bapiosaurus and then had all the little guys around it, and it was like, even if it was like $50 or something, and you got all the small guys too.
I would love that.
That'd be
I would
cool.
eat that up. Not getting rid of the Psittacosaurus because this one I got off of a raffle. This was a fine cut figure, I believe. It's David and I painted it together based off of the Indo-Chinese forest lizard, I believe, which is also the same lizard that was used for the Centrosaurus, but we interpreted it a little bit more accurately to the real lizard than was used for the Centrosaurus. But
did their Centro fall over, or am I just looking at him weird?
Which one? The Centro?
Yeah.
No. Maybe it's because the Monoclonius is making it look weird.
Oh, yeah. What the heck? That just fixed it. That was so weird. He looked like he was on his side for me.
Yeah,
for a second.
It's probably just the Monoclonius kind of adding a little weird perspective there. But yeah, he's perfectly fine.
Sweet.
Which would have been weird if he was on his side because it's a quadruped and those things are super well balanced. But
yep.
The other one that I'm selling right here, the Microraptor. I'm not going to be selling him with this arm that I have him displayed on. I'm going to hold on to that so I can use it for something else. But he'll come with all the original stuff that he came with, including the Mononychus. So, if you want those, they're really neat. I love the iridescent paint on both of these, or like iridescent. It's like shiny. It's like shiny paint.
I kind of really like the Mononychus. I mean, maybe I've never owned any of these figures, so you can tell me what you think otherwise, but I like the concept of the peg being on a ball joint that just clips into the bottom of the foot.
Have you ever kind of rotate it around?
Nope.
Okay.
Never owned any of them.
Yeah, so I like it a lot. It's not as mobile as you'd think. It gives you a little bit of an angle, but it's definitely something I think we need to move on from. We can do a lot better. It's dated, but it works. It works. It holds up a lot better than the Raptor, like the big 1/6 scale Raptor. Well, I guess these are 1/6 too, but holds up a lot better. Let me not knock him over, but just get him a little visible in there. So yeah, I'm
still quite tempted to to get that mountain environment kit.
I am too.
Because I know he's trying to sell all the environment kits out because I don't think they sell incredibly well. So I'm keeping my eye on it. I might pull the trigger on even a couple of them if they get put at a decent price because they come with so many cool accessories, like even for photography and stuff.
100%. I really like that the Troodon in particular. That one's really cool. So forgot that this one's not really attached to the clip, but this is my first ever BotM figure. Very difficult for me to part with, it's very sentimental. But I adore this thing. Its design is amazing. I love Velociraptor, so I definitely want to hold on to this figure in some capacity. I'm going to put this one right here. Going to be parting with that one as well. Beautiful. I think it's based off of an Egyptian vulture. No, that's the Sargon. It's a bearded vulture. Or black-headed vulture?
I think bearded vulture is the Lammergeier. That's the red Velociraptor.
Oh, okay, that's the bearded vulture. I think the black-headed vulture kind of has something on its face still. Maybe I'm wrong. But, okay, black-headed vulture, but it kind of looks like a Harris's hawk, which is really neat, which is actually what I thought it was in the first place, and one of the reasons I was attached to it.
I'm sorry, it's based off of the juvenile Lammergeier. So it's the juvenile version of the full-grown bearded vulture.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I did remember part of that, right? Well, there you go. Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool. This one, I want to part with the least. If any
I even have memories attached to that one, and I have never owned it.
It's so pretty. I'm gonna be honest, out of all of these figures I have on here, this one is probably the one that's most likely to not show up on that listing of eBay stuff if I end up deciding to keep it and put it, like, this guy can't fit on this shelf unless he's on the top. I don't have room for him on the top right now, so he's gonna go on top of my fridge that's just out of view over there. You guys are gonna get a collection update, I think. So this will be the next Kiki and Coffee episode. The Kiki Coffee episode after that is gonna be an unboxing video with a cool new dinosaur figure I got, and then some mystery thing that David sent me. I still don't know what it is. It has not arrived here yet, but I'm gonna do a double unboxing of those. The episode after that will probably be my collection update. And when you get to see that, you'll understand the room a little better. This guy might still be here, might be over there. I don't know. If not, you can buy it on Monday. But I love this thing so much. But either way,
it's very cool.
My plan is there are 3 figures I'm gonna buy. So we'll see when I get those. Might do another unboxing video after that or something like that. But my plan is to buy the 1/18 scale Protoceratops that's got this design on it. They're still in stock on everything dinosaur, so I'm gonna buy one off of there. The 1/18 scale black Velociraptor is still in stock on the Creative Beast Studio website. Buy that there. And then I'm going to buy the Walking with Dinosaurs Pachyrhinosaurus. And so that is the other thing I want to announce, is that I am going to be parting with this guy. I love this figure. I'm still super attached to it in a lot of ways. But I've just come to like the Walking with Dinosaurs one better, even though I kind of resisted it really hard because it was attached to a piece of media that I wasn't super thrilled about. And I wasn't really thrilled about just collecting all the Walking with Dinosaurs stuff anyways. I mean, I don't have the Torosaurus. That one's really big and expensive, though. So,
yeah.
But David really swears by it.
I really don't think it looks too much like the guy from the movie. Like, you can see the loose inspiration, but it's just really nice. Yeah, I swear by it. I think it's I love this Packy, the brown Packy. I also parted with mine. It was very difficult to part with it, but it's just a wall of brown. It gets lost in the shelf when you have multiples of these guys.
It looks really good on its own. I really love it on its own. The blue belly is just really gorgeous. I love it's not just brown. I would call it like a brick red. It's like a really pretty brick red. But you can call it brown if you want. But I think it'd be discrediting it a little bit. I think it's a pretty color. Almost like a pottery color or something like that. I love this figure. I would highly recommend it. If any of you guys want it, I'm going to be parting with it. Yet again, card and box for all of these, except the ones that didn't ever come with cards. They're not going to come with cards, but David got me on the other one. So just like I did with the Zuni, I'm just going to swap it out. So there you guys go.
And I think your lineup's going to look really consistent after that, because I think the Packy and the Zuni were like the 2 weak links, for lack of a better word, for me.
I mean,
as far as my Ceratopsians
they were literally my least favorites too. They were both my least favorites out of it, so it's going to just be an upgrade all around. And also, like I said, like, I love this thing. So when I take it down and hold it on its own, it's the hardest the hardest time for me to part with it. Because I just adore it. It's really gorgeous on its own, but when I put it in context of everything else, it just gets washed out. It, like, you can see the nice, like, grading. We have like a yellow, white, bright color here, right next to a dark with some red, and we get some bright green here, another like a little bit of dark with some red. Then we get like a little bit of orange and yellow into purple, and we get some dark blue, and we get yellow, and then black and red, and then it's just like a muted brown kind of ish looking color, blue, get into some reds over here, and then we've got a black, and then we got blue at the end. It's a really nice like segment, but the other Pachy will be a much nicer, warm, bright, yellowish color, which I think is
also
look
very nice. Very nice, bold, contrasting patterns, too.
Yeah.
Which, I like that one for trying something unique, but I think it just doesn't stand out because it doesn't have any pattern to it, really.
Which,
from a
by
distance.
the way, speaking of which, because I want to kind of break it up more, this has been one of the more, like, all three of these figures I can't part with, but they're kind of more consistent in color and texture and contrast. So my idea was to actually just move these guys over, get some more blue over further this way, move the Albert here, and then I think put the Pachy right there.
I think that'll be really good.
The yellow will be nice, kind of bordering the blue here, and then the yellow will kind of coax into the brighter colors on this Sino with the white highlights and stuff, and then just kind of meld over. So I think just the lineup is going to look much nicer with the brighter Pachy over there. But
I agree. I also think, I wonder if you'll be as surprised as I was too, because there are a lot more cooler tones on the Fans Choice Pachy than I thought in person. Like little washes of like sea glassy colors of like greenish.
Yeah, it's a little bit more
on
on the green side than this, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's slightly more on the green side than that, but it's still very cool. So
yeah.
It's neat.
So yeah, I think you guys can see everything. So in summary, just to wrap this up so we can move on from me just being Sam Witwicky here. You guys want any of these? You got the Pachy, you got the Velociraptor, got the Zhenyuanlong, got the Zhenyuanlong, got the nestlings, the gray nestlings with the Saurornitholestes, got the Roadrunner Saurornitholestes Fans Choice back here. Did I already say the Sargon? I don't know if I did, but we got Sargon.
I don't know if you did either. But
got the Zuni back here, the first release Zuni, and there was a second one, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a second one.
That's the first release. Yeah.
First release of the Zuni, Mononychus and Microraptor, and you can't have this thing. Fuck
I was
off.
going to say, don't forget about the Arctic Dragon and the Allosaurus.
Yeah.
Fellas. They're in frame. They're all up for grabs.
They're not
Everything
for grabs.
behind them, too. Whatever you can see, you can take.
No! Stay away! I'll stab you with both of my box opening materials. I'm gonna tentatively. I don't know why I'm already feeling defensive over this. You'll find out on Monday if this one's up for sale, or maybe somebody bought it already by the time you got to it. But it's just too difficult, man. I really love this figure. This is just like I love this thing so much, but we'll see.
We shall see.
That's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of move these guys out of my way a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know, is there any other comments you wanted to make on how where you are with your Raptors and stuff, their 1/6 scale stuff? Anything you're feeling like getting rid of or like parting with, or things you're cycling out? What's your philosophy right now?
Right now I'm going through a Tyrannosaur purge at the moment because I unwittingly and unwillingly obtained pretty much the entire Tyrannosaur series over the course of its release.
Damn, you got that close to completing it?
I'm only missing the Juvie T-Rex and the Pterodophonius.
No, you are not. That is all you're missing?
Yeah.
God.
Because I had all the small dudes. I had all the body size except for the Pterado for like the Cheon body size. I had all 4 of the big dudes, the big T-Rex, and I had all of the guys like the Bistahi, the Lythronax, the Eutyrannus, and the
You're saying had
Drypto.
You had them at one point, but you don't have them all now. You've gotten rid of some of them.
Yeah. Well, I still technically. Let's see. Did I get rid of any of them yet? No, I still have them technically. So that's why these guys are sitting here. These are my desk buddies because I'm doing a review on them. When I went to Legion Con, it was sort of eye-opening getting to see everything coming out and how much more excited I was for those. I'm really excited I got to experience these, and I'm going to do review videos on them, of course, and maybe take some pictures of them before they go. But I just really honed it in on my absolute favorites, and I'm keeping those. So I'm getting rid of the Gorgo, the Daspleet, and What other ones were there? Oh yeah, the Eotyrannus and the Moros. I've already passed those along. And I'm trying to think. That might be everything. I think, like, I'm looking at my shelf and I'm like, yeah, those are kind of most of the Tyrannosaurs still, but the Tyrannosaur line wasn't that big compared to the Ceratopsians. Like, there were still a lot, but I'm imagining there was more. The Bistahi Eversur I could see myself parting with at some point in the future, but I have space for it now, and it's very nice. I did, funny story about that one, which you already know about, Aiden, but when I heard that one was going out of stock, I was like, man, I already know David has confirmed on stream that he's not restocking the Bistahi. So this is like the last chance anyone's going to have to get one. And I was like mildly interested in it. I was like, that's it. I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm just going to get it.
Is that just like he hard confirmed that it wasn't being restocked in that color, or just like at all?
Right now, just at all.
Damn.
Like he's...
Well,
yeah.
It makes sense. There's so many dinosaurs, and like the first three, big Kickstarter ways of them were like so many of the same thing. There's going to be some species that are just kind of lost to time that are things you can only get really now.
But I loved it, that Bistahi. He's very Halloween-y. He's neat for what he is. I like the other ones more, but I finally pulled the trigger and I bought it, and come to find out through talking with Chris said that I got the last one that they had.
That's so nuts.
So I'm like, that's crazy.
Your instinct, your guts, your reaction to that was just like, God, oh my God.
It was down to the wire, and I had no idea.
I'm so glad you got it.
I am too.
That's nuts. That's a crazy good story.
I'm really happy I have it. I think, honestly, out of all the Tyrannosaur Ceratopsians pairings, I think the Penta and the Bistahi are my favorite, like, pairing with each
almost got the Bistahi just because I really like that art. That's by Raul Ramos, right?
Yep, that's Raul's art. Yep.
Raul's, I love his art. He's a fucking great dude. I have to just give him a little shout out for a moment. I've gotten a lot closer to him over the last like couple years. Some of you guys might already know this, but he did a lot of art for me for my first album, and I'm still close to him, and he and I are working together on some future projects. We have a lot of cool stuff in the works, but he's such a stand-up guy, a great dude, and a fantastic artist. I don't think he's appreciated enough, but he does some great stuff. He's done stuff for like projects you guys probably don't even know about, and like all kinds of cool dinosaur video games and shows, and also like Path of Titans is one he's done a lot of art for that people are like probably have seen. If you play Path of Titans, all of the splash screen art is Raul Ramos. To my understanding, he did the art for this guy, and he did the sculpt for it, I believe. I think he sculpted it. So yeah, nuts. Just really talented dude. But yeah, that art piece still like one of my favorite Ceratopsian art pieces, period. And I really wanted to just basically recreate it with it, but I think you guys could probably figure out, but I decided not to get it because, one, I wanted to resist Tyrannosaurs, and I kind of realized I wasn't going to display the Penta with a Tyrannosaur because I have a different thing going on here.
You want your wall of Ceratopsians.
Yeah. So that ended up not happening, but, I'm glad that somebody got to pair them together in some capacity, because that was something I was pretty invested in.
For sure. And you know what I think it works so well about them that I just realized just looking at them? Is the Penta is primarily orange with black markings. The Bistahi is primarily black with orange markings.
That's cool. Yeah, it is. It's inverted.
So it's fully inverted.
That's neat. I didn't ever think of that. Let's move this beautiful dude back in frame a little bit more so you can get a little more spotlight.
I like that pose you have on him too.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really happy with it too. I just really like that curl on the tail. I really like posing his head kind of like off sideways a little bit. That's one of my favorite ways of just getting his like mean mug.
I love just putting him in a very like vertical sitting pose with his neck kind of curled down, slightly tilted to the side, and the tail like curled around him. He looks kind of regal. He gives me like a kind of like the art that Raul did. he gives me kind of owl vibes in that pose, and I love owls. He's got like his
I
big
never
talons
thought
on his
of
front
that.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good comparison. I like that.
And he's got the big tuft around his neck.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get him in a little bit more of a like squatted pose, just slightly. His arms kind of extended up a little bit. There we go.
Also, you know, off topic, but I find it a funny, consistent coincidence that happens in my life. My Discord is usually very quiet as far as DMs go. Mm-hmm. It's always when I'm recording something that my inbox just blows up.
Everybody wants to see you at the same time.
Yeah, the entirety of recording this, I have about 46 messages waiting for me in 2 different chats.
What?
And I don't know what they're about.
That's so funny. Well, I'll let you go soon to go ahead and check those out. But
I'm sure they're not important, but I had to bring attention to that. I'm like, it happens every single time that I want to just sit and record for like an hour or something.
Well, we're not quite done yet, but I want to thank you just for hanging out. This was really fun. This feels really good. It feels like old YouTube, but it also feels really refreshing because, I mean, some of you guys know I already tried to do like a podcast YouTube channel with Indecent Composure. That was fun, but it was like, I think I don't know, something wasn't there. Maybe it's bad timing. It was also just difficult for me to get back into YouTube stuff. It was an experiment. But this, honestly, super satisfying. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this style. And I think this might become a lot more of a regular thing. Like, Kiki Coffee might lean a little bit closer to podcasty from there. Maybe I might just try to get more guests on more regularly just to have... Because I've been really enjoying the conversation. This is kind of the activity that I've been wanting on these episodes a lot more.
I mean, same for me. Like, I think I've got to get you and the rest of the guys involved with Spinocast more often to sort of revive that. Cause
I would love to. That would be
we need to think of some fun ideas. Maybe some fun like games or something we could play. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was thinking
anything.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking it would be a fun idea as a dinosaur-themed Gardic phone with the boys or something.
Dude, that might be really fun. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. That'd be really fun.
I don't know. Do we want to kind of tease the idea that you and I have already had to collaborate, or you want to leave that kind of?
Yeah, we can straight up drop it here. I'm curious to see if that will drum up any hype.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
So I mean, any of you guys that are, I mean, I'm sure like literally everybody watching this watches David and loves his content. Mm-hmm. And if you love his content, I'm sure that one of your absolute favorite things he's ever done is the what's it called?
The Worst Dinosaurs.
Worst Dinosaurs series. Yeah. That it just he found some weird gems on there and got some really cool shit, and he got them in person a couple times, right? I think you got a couple of them already.
Nope, I never have bought any of them. No.
Oh, I could have swore that you did one thing or something. Maybe you just did an exchange with the other guys or something at some point, and I'm thinking of that. Or tried to. Maybe just because we talked about this for so long. I just like
we have talked about this for so long.
Okay, well, either way, we're gonna pop the cherry, and he's actually gonna get some in person.
Yes.
And what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna record an episode where I search on the internet with you guys and pick out a few of the like worst dinosaur figures, and we're gonna buy them and then send them to David. He's gonna have no clue which ones we got, and he's gonna open them up and do like a worst dinosaurs episode in person, which is gonna be I think really exciting.
I think it's gonna be great, and I mean, I put a pause on it for a while because obviously, like, if they get views and those videos give me money, but which is motivation enough to continue, but I feel like I've exhausted the search sometimes, and it gets to the point of exaggerating the content a little bit.
So you're like committed to integrity or something. That's not very shallow of you. That's kind of deep, bro.
I know. I'm a YouTuber, so maybe I shouldn't care as much about my integrity, but
yeah, I think you should just pump out content and not give a shit about its quality. That's definitely that would optimize your channel for sure.
Yeah, 3 videos a day. SpinoDude is going to be coming up soon, but
very soon. That's the next evolution.
No, but anyways, so I thought this would be a fun natural evolution of this to do once in a while, like maybe once every quarter of a year or something. If it goes well, I'll be like, here's a budget, go spend my money to my friends, and they record the video, and then I can put some clips in my video. They get their own content shopping for me, and then I do like an unboxing the crap that they send me.
That's a great idea.
So,
how many episodes do you remember off the top of your head? I don't know why 16 is popping up in my head, but how many episodes of that did you already do?
I can tell you right now, as I have the playlist on my homepage. I have done only 14.
Oh, I was kind of close. I don't know why 16 was in my head, but
yeah. Oh wow, The Worst Dinosaurs Return, when I rebooted it 2 years ago, is the most viewed episode. It has just broken 300,000 views.
What? I didn't know they were doing that well.
Yeah,
Holy
they all.
shit!
I think all of them have broken 100K at this point. So.
Damn, that's hype.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm gonna have to do, I think those videos are pretty short, but I'm basically gonna task myself maybe later tonight or just over during the nights while I'm working before I can record another episode this weekend. I'm gonna watch all of them so that I know, and because I've watched a few, but I never watched them all. But I need to update myself so I know which ones you've seen, because I want to pick ones you've never seen before, and then you just get them in person. Maybe if there's one or two or something that you had a particular vile reaction to or something that might be fun to throw in the package and just get in person.
I think there's some stuff that would just be fun to experience in person. I feel like that could be more surprising.
Take notes.
So yeah, we'll take notes. But I mean, I think you haven't watched most of the series, to my knowledge. So it would be fun seeing your thoughts on it in general. I know I got Eric on for a couple of them, and then Eric and Gibson, we just spontaneously recorded an episode together once. So there's an episode with 3 of us. Oh, cool! On there. That's really funny.
Okay.
And maybe at some point too, if we want to do a return to format with the classics, we'll get all 4 of the boys together and just browse AliExpress, and that would be fun.
I would love to do that.
Yep.
But
another one too that might be interesting is what is it like? Is it Temu? That website that's been blowing up recently?
I've heard about it.
I haven't actually looked on there.
I've heard about it, but I've never looked on it, and I'm not very familiar with it. Literally, I heard the name dropped a couple times, I think in a meme context. I didn't fully get what it was. I think I understood through context there was like a site or like an app. But it was when we were on our Minecraft server, and you named it was like Temu the Lemosaurus or whatever. And
Temu the Lemosaurus.
And then I was like, okay, what the fuck is Temu? What is that? And then and then you were like, oh, it's a site that you buy stuff on. I was like, oh, okay. It makes so much sense.
I think it's basically AliExpress. It's like an Asian supermarket site thing, but it's integrated into TikTok. So as you're scrolling through TikTok, people can see the items pop up, and they do sponsor things, and they click on it, and it's all super cheap stuff that's you don't know if it's being made ethically or sourced ethically. Just people buy it because it's a couple dollars, Yeah.
3 orphans were sacrificed in the making of this minifigure.
I'd be surprised if it was that minor of a crime. Some of the items were.
There's been war crimes have been committed to make these. God. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about BOTM wise? Did you get to wrap up your your thoughts on your? I don't know if you said anything about your collecting philosophy now, whether or not it's how much it's changed, or what your vision is for your collection. I guess because
I mean. It's really hard. I will say, I didn't talk about my collecting philosophy as a whole, which I mean, obviously, as people have noticed probably in the background of my videos, most of my collection is Beasts of the Mesozoic at this point. Normal figures, they're so unique, and I feel like they're just hitting a real sweet spot for me that I never knew I really wanted as far as collecting dinosaurs. But also, I haven't stopped collecting normal figures. Holland Good has really been winning me over with most of their stuff for the price. PNSO still releases some bangers occasionally that I will invest in if it's a species that I really want. Or even stuff like the Velociraptor. I never necessarily wanted it, but it's just such a good-looking figure. I really try to just stick to stuff that I think the way you phrased it, Aiden, really took the words out of my mouth once, that I'm proud to talk about, and that I can sit and point my finger at in my collection and be like, this is really cool. Even to the extent of Velociraptor, oh, this is really cool. They turned around and made this figure in a few months, like right after this species was described, and this is such a cool representation of this asymmetrical ceratopsian specimen that was found, you know.
And it's really good. It's genuinely one of their best ceratopsian figures.
It is, yeah. But I feel like even little stuff like that, like I need something to sort of hook onto in that regard to want to actually buy it. I know that's why like I wanted to pull the trigger on the Argentinosaurus, for example, which I know I could live without it. Yeah. But I was like, this would be so cool. And I mean, this thing is just, this is such a stunner. Like when someone comes in my room, they're going to see this thing and be like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I really went out of my way to get that. But there's a few things in my collection I'm not crazy about. I could probably cycle out at some point. They're just filling space. But cycling back to BOTM quickly, they are the most difficult thing to collect just because I literally want most of what they release. I love most of what they have.
I didn't resist much in one department.
Yeah, I know. And
but I still did.
Wave,
I did resist some. Like in this body size range, there's a lot that are missing. Well,
yeah,
actually,
no,
it's
true.
This size over here, but
yeah, like the Ava and the Aineo and everything. But I feel like with this upcoming wave, I was really beating myself up because I was like, I literally want everything. I want everything that's a part of this wave, and I can't resist it. But then I sat down and I was like, all right, let's go through each of these one by one. I'm like, I love Andrewsarchus. I've wanted an Andrewsarchus. I'm going to get that. I love Pachycephalosaurus ever since Prehistoric Planet. I want a good figure of that one. I'm getting that one. Cryolophosaurus, no-brainer. Been one of my sleeper favorite dinosaurs. Yeah. Stegosaurus, no-brainer. Like, I need a Stegosaurus like that. And I'm like, all right, well, that's the whole wave. And then the 1/18th scale Smilodon, which I might get just because it's in scale with the rest of my collection, but we'll see.
Yeah, I love how you just literally ended up going through and be like, yeah, I need them all.
Yeah, I need them all. I mean, the 135th Allosaurus, too, are like, they were tempting to me at one point for convenience, where I'm like, they look just as good as the big figure, and if I can have that to shove in my coat pocket to go out and take pictures on a walk or something, that would be neat, but I'm trying to resist those at the moment.
I am too.
It seems more like a novelty, or like a fatty reason for
it's nuts because I should just be satisfied with this, but I've gotten this, and I already was crazy about that one, but then seeing the tiger Jamadsonite and loving this, I'm like, I want more. Give me more. I want another one. Yeah. Like I want that red one so bad. But I'm not crazy about the 1/35th scale. I think it's a really great option. I think it's really important to keep that around. But I just like, I don't know. I'm the 1/18th scale is where it's at for me, and though I want to keep these guys because that's a walking with, you know, Kickstarter exclusive. Got to hold on to that, and I love my little Triceratops, but I don't want to expand my 1/35th collection. I probably retain that for if there's like a sauropod I really want, but I don't want to invest, you know, half my organs in order to obtain it.
I have only decided as far as 1/35th goes, I am going to get the 1/35th Spinosaurus, because he already confirmed he's going to be doing 1/18th and 1/35th, which you could probably predict he would do that anyway.
Yeah, he's got to make money off. That's a huge money bag just sitting right there. Spinosaurus.
It is.
And so many people are not going to be able to afford the big one, so it's a great option for other people.
Exactly. So I'm like, I've got my Walking with T-Rex like right behind my monitor on my desk right now, so I'll get the Spino as its desk buddy, and I think that's a classic non-controversial pairing that everybody won't fights over.
By the time we get a Spinosaurus, like, we genuinely might have Walking with Dinosaurs already, and then you could do a Kickstarter exclusive Walking with Dinosaur Spinosaurus, and you could have both of them like that. That might be cool.
And it would be 2 generations. That would actually be really cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Well, the what were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, I was just saying,
Oh, fuck! I've lost my train of thought. I think it was something about the collecting thing. I forget what you said. But I just agree. I mean, like, the getting to point at all these individual dudes is just so exciting and so fun, and I I love like this part right here. You can't see them all right now, but the small like normal figures. Oh my god! Like every single thing over. I love that. That's been really impressed because I've curated the BOTM stuff more consistently as I've been going. But those are something I had to pare down significantly. I mean, you go back, look at 2018, 2019. I think I was approaching 400 figures, and most of them were like of that type. Dang. I know, and look at it now. Like I have a little bit of extra ones down here, and I'm reducing that number, but that's basically it right there. It's like 15 figures or something like that, and every single one of them, like I'm just so excited about pointing at them. They look.
I mean,
really
it's the same for me. I mean, I definitely have more than you. I probably have twice that amount of normal figures spread around. But thinking back to my old room setup where I had the double pair of triple shelves lined up on each wall, they were just like jam-packed full of those little dudes. I had hundreds of them. And I have painted and sold so many of them and just gotten rid of so many of them over the years. There's... I'm pretty happy where I am right now. Although I am looking at my shelf and I'm seeing some like the Holland Good Edmontonia. I'm like, I think I can get rid of you.
Yeah, but I feel like I really want to be in a state where I actually feel like I've sold everything. Oh, another thing, I guess if you guys are interested in buying my crap, I'm selling the Eofauna Giga. I'll try to have that listed up by the time that the episode comes out. But yeah, there's so much like stuff that like I never feel like I've gotten it down to like I think 1 or 2, but like I always have something I still obtain that I'm trying to part with, and I don't count the Carnotauruses that I have, the Carnegie Corn Chest, because I bought those like to sell them, but I'm really looking forward to. I think the one part of this is like it feels really tough right now because I have them. It's hard to part with them, but once I get rid of them all, it's gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel so good to just not have any of like figures that I'm still part. I mean, these Godzillas are kind of like they're kind of queued up because we have the Haya Toys GMK coming around the corner that I think I'm gonna replace that one with and stuff like that. So those guys are, but yet again, just replacing stuff and cycling it in and out.
Yeah. Which I think I know I said I was toying with the idea the other day, but I think I'm going to sell my SH Monster Hunter figures, the 2 that I have, because...
In spite and in preparation.
Yeah, in spite and preparation. I'm like, Haya's coming out, and I'm like, I can make money off of these right now. I don't really like playing with them. They fall apart.
Yeah.
So, might as well make some money on them.
Well, oh, shoot. I lost my train of thought again. I keep derailing myself, but I was gonna say something about BOTM, I think. Oh, that's what it was. I wanted to comment because they've kind of been on there, like on your screen for a hot minute, but this Chad is gonna be hooking me up with a great deal to be getting that Daspletosaurus, which I think I've talked about a couple times on the channel, but I love that thing so much, and I resisted it because I've been trying to just maintain like not getting it. I mean, the problem with BOTM is like if it's a genus I give no shits about, relatively speaking. Dinosaurs are always cool. Like it could be just so beautiful and colorful that I like want it anyways. So I tried to really resist and keep my Tyrannosaurus to a minimum, and I just got Albertosaurus because that's actually a genus I love. But that thing has been probably my favorite looking Tyrannosaur like for the longest time now, and I wasn't going to get it because I didn't want to buy it, but now this dude is just going to hook me up with that beautiful thing, and I don't know, I might end up holding on to it, might not, but I'm so excited about it. I already bought this in preparation for him, so he's already got stand ready. I'm so excited about it.
Awesome. Yeah, he's, I got to finish filming the footage for his review, but, yeah, I was mainly interested because I liked all 4 of this body size, and I'm very grateful I got a chance to review and experience all of them. But this one and the Gorgo, fell a little bit short of the other two for me. I wasn't expecting to like the Tarbo so much, but I mean, you've experienced the Tarbo in person, so you know how intoxicating it is once you see it.
I do.
I know it's not the right size, but I'm like, I am not getting rid of this thing.
Yeah,
I
literally just have a couple excuses that I'm just desperately holding on to for dear life, like the guy on the Cliff Bar. Like, the Cliff Bar logo, just holding on for dear life. I'm just like, those are my excuses. Like, after seeing it in person, I visited Gibson, or Bioniclesaurus, and he has it, and like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's so good. Like, it might just straight up be, like, the best looking one, even in my opinion, which I've never been the biggest fan of it, but I love just really solid black dinosaurs. It's such a cool, like, color, such a cool contrast. I mean, I already talked about it with this guy. I really love just the dark coloration, but yeah, that Tarbosaurus is so wild, so good looking.
If I could only keep one of them, I'd still probably say I'd keep that one.
Yeah.
Out of the Tyrannosaurus series, like it's got such a presence to it.
Oh man, that's such a good looking dude. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you kind of wanted to comment on, or any other topics you felt like adjacent BOTM you felt like getting off your chest at this point, or?
I don't think so. I mean, one thing I'll mention very briefly that I think I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about like the display stands and such is one of my first more personal like conversation interactions with David Silva I had was because I posted my 1/18th scale Tyrannosaurus Rex review.
Oh yeah.
And I was super honest in that video. I said this is a great undertaking, but I think this, as far as the whole product goes, it's falling short for how much I paid for it, with no display stand or anything. And he wrote me this really nice long message because he just was watching my YouTube channel at the time, and he was just like,
you hadn't been sent any figures by him yet at that point?
I don't think so. Not at that point.
Yeah. It's even more.
Maybe I got the Pachyrhinosaurus, the Fan's Choice one.
Yeah, it was very early.
It was very fresh. It was very early. But he wrote me a really nice long message and was just like, hey, I just want to say I really appreciate you for your honesty in your review, and your valuable feedback. I just wanted to let you know that none of that feedback is going to waste. And he's like, I'm exploring options for display stands like moving forward now. And that was obviously the conceptual stage. And now we have these that he's selling as products on their own that are incredibly engineered. So, I mean, that was just like...
I bought 3 of them!
Yeah. It's so funny. When I went to Legion Con, I walked up to the table. One of the first things I said within the first 5 minutes of being there is I picked up the box on the table. I was like, I'll take 3, no 4 of the stands.
Yeah.
For all my Tyrannosaurs. And he's like, all right. So that was my first transaction. I'm like, you listened, I'm buying these right away.
Yeah. I mean, that was the other thing, like, that encouraged me, too, that I wanted to get on them because, like, this is something I was also vouching for a lot. And it's like, I want to speak with my wallet, but also I wanted these. I just really wanted them. And they work so goddamn well. I mean, I didn't actually pull the trigger and buy them until I got my Allosaurus, and I was like 100% like, oh wow, yeah, this works. Like, this is a great proof of concept. I can't recommend them enough. I think I think we sold out of all the large ones, but then again, you can't even buy the big T-Rexes anymore, so hopefully a lot of the people that needed them got them, but...
Yeah, I think he only made pretty much enough for how many people bought like T-Rexes, and I'm sure people went back and bought all of those. I can say as someone who still has the big T-Rex, that stand works so well. You can just plop it down on there, and it just holds it up. That's but yeah, even if you don't have BOTM figures, these are super cheap. The medium stands, they're like what, $10 a piece, or something, or 15?
It's like 15, I think. Yeah.
Like 15, yeah. But it comes with everything you need, and I think they just work great for other animal figures in general, too. I've seen lots of people using the Smilodon on them and such, and it works pretty well. Putting them in like a pouncing pose. Even the raptors, I have seen people posing the Deinonychus like mid-air, like in a pouncing pose, just clipped to the top of the large
Oh,
Tyrannosaur
really?
stand and such, or the medium stands. Yeah.
It clips
So-
onto them? Oh, I think it has... Does it have 2 heads you can use?
I think it's got a couple different heads in there.
Yeah.
But either way, I think you can take the clip from the Raptors and put it on the head.
Yeah.
I think they're compatible. So, yeah. But I think that's the last thing I really have to say. They're an amazing company. I really like the direction they're going in. Never thought I would ever get to have dinosaur figures this cool in my collection, and I mean, it's even cooler. I'm very grateful that I get to work with them too.
Yeah.
It's
And that was
that's
a really
awesome.
organic process too. I mean, I will
Yeah.
speak to that integrity. David's not just saying this crap because he works for him now. I mean, you guys have seen. It's a public record. You can see on his channel before he ever became an employee there. But it's just I can't encourage people enough to go out and support him. And I think we're in the best time period, best era of BOTM yet, or Creative Beast, and I'm sure the next one's gonna be even better.
Oh yeah,
Man,
I'm also excited too. I mean, we're still in. Here, another reason too is I really hope kind of off topic, but I really hope the next Jurassic World movie is good, or decent, because the last 2 ones weren't received too well, particularly Dominion, and I feel like carrying that dinosaur hype through mainstream is going to do nothing but help. Not only paleontology as a whole, but Creative Beast, like keeping the interest in dinosaurs in general, is going to be huge. So I think we're just in a golden age as far as dinosaurs go, if the momentum keeps going.
I agree. That's a good topic. That given I've been pretty open about my criticism about those movies. Like you and I should definitely either on SpinoCast or something like that. We should talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. That would be a fun topic to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's plan when you're, because I mean, Aiden's planning on coming to see me. We're gonna go see the movie together. Let's just record a podcast here and review the movie.
We should. That's good.
Afterwards,
I want to do something in anticipation of it too, though. So if we do a SpinoCast or something before that, or another Kiki and Coffee, we could talk about it a little bit. But I'll refrain from that here. We can keep our opinions off. But I agree. It stands huge development, and I think the last thing I guess I forgot to comment about is I don't really know if I talked about this on the live stream I did, but it sounds like you're getting basically everything from the new BOTM wave. But I think I'm gonna be getting the Stegosaurus. Obviously, that one's a no-brainer. Definitely getting that one, and the Cryolophosaurus. I have to get that one too. But I will admit
so good.
The Pachycephalosaurus is tempting. I don't think I'm going to get it. Yeah. I'm really eager to see what you think. I think if I end up getting it, it'll probably be in response to you getting it or seeing it in person when I go see you. I don't. You won't have it by the time I come visit you. That's going to be like September or something like that it comes out.
I think the projection is September. But I mean, he might. Heavy emphasis on might have like review samples by that point.
Oh yeah, so
knows?
You might have one by then or something like that. But
I might, but that's on him if he's going to offer me any. So we'll see.
But either way, that's Stego and Cryo. I'm so excited about those.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Same.
Anyways, that's basically that. We got like an hour, and I don't know how much time from our little cuts there is going to cut out, but we almost got like an hour and 40 minutes of this stream for this podcast, which is great. That ended up being way beefier. I think I was telling Dave, I was like, I want to keep it at least 20 minutes, upwards of like 40 or something like that.
Well, only 20 minutes.
And I asked him how cool he was with it. He's like, I'm cool with like over an hour, like podcast or whatever. Here I got him almost 2 hours.
We'll just hang out.
Yeah.
It's actually funny, which I'll plug, because it'll probably be up on my channel as a little plug, whatever. But just last night, I actually recorded a SpinoCast with Dinoxels and Gibson, because we were all planning a in preparation for Jurassic World Evolution 3 being announced at any moment. We are ranking all 122 creatures in a universal tier list. From Jurassic World Evolution 2. So
that's nuts.
We were like, we'll do it in one podcast. It should only be like a couple hours. We didn't even get through the letter C within 2 hours. So It's going to be
it
a
makes sense.
multi-part series.
There's a lot of discussion
Yeah.
that has to happen there. Yeah. That's
There
cool.
is. And I mean, so we're tackling that currently. So I definitely understand the sentiment of time getting away from you as far as discussing things go.
This is much more manageable, though. I think if we got, like, a decent bit over 2 hours, then I think it really would have gotten away. But, like, this just ended up being a lot more of a podcasty episode. And, cool. If people don't want to be watching it, they can listen to it. So,
Yeah.
I enjoyed this.
Exactly.
This is a lot. This is great. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for proving the concept of this. I think this is a great... I really like this. I was even talking to him a little bit before this episode, before we filmed it, I basically, like, I guess for a little bit of transparency behind the scenes on my end, I'm really just feeling this out right now. I'm trying to see where, like, I want to balance the Kiki and Coffee stuff and see what you guys really respond to. So definitely give me your feedback in the comments on, like, what you guys are really enjoying, like, what styles you guys want, because I don't want to over... commit myself to anything at the moment and then burn myself out again, because my relationship with YouTube has been very rocky and kind of like sensitive. So I really enjoyed this. I think this was probably, honestly, my favorite experience of Kiki and Coffee since coming back. So thank you for joining me on that. I really enjoyed this.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And I definitely will have David on again, probably some of my other boys on here as well as guests. So, just give me your feedback. Thank you, David, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll finish off my coffee, because I'm almost done, ceremoniously. There we go. You go, girl. I guess for context of that cup, I did. That was actually a gift from one of my coworkers at Starbucks when I was back in Tennessee. Because I'd say that all the time at work, and they thought it was funny, so she got it for me as like a Christmas present or something like that. Because it was one of my catchphrases.
That is an Aiden trademark catchphrase.
Yeah, I do say that a lot. Yeah. Anywho,
that's funny.
Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.